Alright, this is Andrew with Redondo Home Inspection. Today we are at 1948 Redondo Ave. Today is May 11th, 2026. And we have the camera pushed out 101 feet. So, pretty average length of a sewer line. In fact, very average. I always say the average length of a line that I see is about 100 feet, and you are right there. So that's the city line that we're seeing on the screen. And this first connection point is called the nose on. That's where it goes from your lateral line into the main city line. Little tiny offset there, but not very big. Offsets are when the pipe shifts and you get a little bit of a lip. But so far those are only real small ones. One of the main things I'm looking at is that you have proper grade. You always want to have good grade where everything is draining on its own with gravity. The bottom of the pipe's kind of dark, but I think it's transite. Does not look like clay from what I can tell so far. Actually, it could be clay with how many joints you have. Clay has joints every few feet, and transite usually has longer sections. And you do tend to have joints every few feet, so it could be clay. So far I've not seen any roots, which is great. Another moderate size offset there, kind of on the side. Better to be on the side or the top than right on the bottom. When you have an offset right on the bottom, that's where waste is more likely to get stuck. And if waste builds up on an offset, it can be a blockage where it backs up towards the house. You have several, but they're all minor to moderate. Nothing crazy that I would say you absolutely need to dig up. Like maybe a little root crawling through there in the top left. Very small, not big enough that I would say you need to clean it yet. Eventually you will. There's a good size offset. Those are the ones that are a little more risky. It's on the side of the pipe, which is better. That's the biggest one we've seen so far. Hard to predict whether it'll cause an issue or not, but not ideal when you have offsets that big. Another one there. I would recommend the insurance on the line. Home Serve is real popular in this area, and that would help offset the cost if or when there's a bigger repair needed, or if you get a backup, they can come clear it for you. A little bit of buildup through that area. I'm not seeing a lot of standing water, which is good. But looking a little rougher, a little more buildup. You certainly want to avoid wet wipes. Those can build up and create blockages. Looks like some channeling here. You can see the bottom of the pipe is more eroded than the rest, and that looks like cast iron. You can see all this scale that's falling off. With cast iron, the bottom of the pipe can erode out, and that makes it harder for things to drain. If it erodes out completely, the pipe needs to be replaced or a liner needs to be blown in. I would consider probably having that cast iron cleaned, partially because I can't see it very well because there's so much scale and build up in the line already. You could clean it, and that would not only hopefully make it smoother, but it also would give you a better idea of the overall condition of that cast iron. Further out beyond the house, that looks much better. That looked like clay or transite. You did have some offsets, and so I would recommend the insurance. But next step I would recommend is probably cleaning that cast, get another video done, which is usually included, and go from there. Might look great, and look like it has a lot of years of life left in it. You might find out that there's areas that are eroded enough that you should consider maybe putting in a liner or replacing it sooner than later. End this recording now.